Writers, our target today says, I can write with my audience in mind. What is an audience? Let's think about that for a moment. An audience is someone that you're performing for or you're writing for. So if you go to see a play, the people sitting out there watching it are the audience. And when you put on the play, you're thinking about your audience. You're thinking about wanting to make them laugh or wanting to make them cry if it's a sad play. You're thinking about how old they are, what they like, what they don't like, what their faces are doing. So as a writer, how do we write with our audience in mind? I think, turn and talk. Mario, yeah? When you're writing, you want to be thinking about the people who are going to be reading your book. So start by thinking about the purpose of your book. What kind of book or paper are you writing, and why are you writing it? Am I writing to teach, like with a teaching book, a nonfiction book? To entertain, like with nonfiction? Or to convince my readers of something? Why am I writing? So I think about my book about the beach. It's a fiction book about a time I went to the beach. So I'm not writing to teach about anything, and I'm not trying to convince my audience of anything. I'm trying to entertain my readers. I want it to be fun. I want it to be something that they get drawn into and can visualize. Once I remember why I'm writing, I'm going to think about who I'm writing it for. Well, I've been writing this for my first graders. So I think about who my audience is. Who are the people that are going to be reading the book? Who is that person that's going to be reading my book? So if it's my first graders, the next thing I'm wondering is, what does my audience want? What does my audience want? So if my book is meant to entertain my first graders, what do my first graders want to be entertained? Well, I bet that first graders are going to want a book that's entertaining to have humor in it, to be funny. So I'm going to make sure to add some funny things into my book to make those first graders laugh. Now, if I was writing to teach and my audience was other teachers, then I might ask myself, okay, what does my audience want? Well, what if I'm writing a book about teaching for teachers and I ask, what does my audience want? I would ask, what do teachers want to know about teaching? So anytime you write a book, you start by asking yourself why you're writing it. Are you writing it to teach something, to entertain your audience, to help them have fun, or to convince them of something? Then ask yourself, who is my audience? Are they kids? Are they grown-ups? Are they students? Are they parents? Are they teachers? And then ask yourself, what does my audience want? So when I think about my book, The Beach, and I start with number 1, I know that I'm writing to entertain. My audience is my first graders. And one of the things I think my first graders would want in an entertaining book is humor. So I'm going to read what I have so far and see if I added anything funny. And if I didn't, that's something I'm going to want to add. The beach. One day I went to the beach. It was really sunny and windy. Nothing funny yet. I played in the sand. I also swam in the ocean. It was so fun. I even saw seagulls. Nothing funny yet. I'm painting a picture, which I think my first graders would want. They want to know what's happening, but I don't see anything funny yet. As we're eating lunch, a girl runs up to us. She told us she saw a dolphin. I don't have anything funny yet. Maybe I can add something funny here about the dolphin. Let me do some thinking. I know. What if I made the dolphin in the story splash us with water? That didn't actually happen to me, but this is a fiction story, so I can add something that's fake. Let's see, how would I write that? Told us she saw a dolphin. The dolphin swam close and, no, I don't like the way that sounds. Let's see. All of a sudden, the dolphin got close and splashed us with water. We were all wet. Yeah, I like that. All of a sudden, the dolphin got close. That's the end of that thought, so I put a period. Then let's see, I could say it made a big splash, and it made a big splash that got water all over us, exclamation point. Then I think I want my brother to say something in the story. Gross! I think my audience will like that. That's a word that first graders like. Gross! My brother yelled. I think my audience will like that my brother is talking in the story, because talking always makes it more interesting. So you see, writers, authors always think about their audience. They think about why they're writing, whether they're teaching, convincing, or entertaining, who they're writing for, who their audience is, whether they're kids or adults, and if they do something special. And then once they know who their audience is and why they're writing, they want to know what their audience would want. Maybe it's humor, maybe it's to learn something in particular. So today when you're writing and you're finishing up your books, because we only have a few more days to finish before we share what we've written, make sure you decide why you're writing, who your audience is, and what your audience would want in your book. Enter the sacred space of the writing workshop.